everybody. First off, welcome to November. We made it. High five. And this is episode number 79 of It'll Be Fine. I am your friend and your pal, Kelly Zemnikas. And guys, today we've got cookies coming out of the kitchen because I think a cookie will help us get us through today. This is being broadcast for the first time on November 3rd. So it's election day in the US of A. I hope that all goes smoothly. And it's my dad's birthday. High five, Dad. Sending you love, man. Sending you love. We're making today, speaking of cookies, rainbow cookies. Rainbow cookie. Who doesn't love a rainbow? Oh my gosh. And in theory, when we cut this cookie open, there should be a rainbow. In theory. What will happen, you'll just have to tune in and find out. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm getting to bake these wonderful cookies today, by the way, with the very funny and the super cool, I really dig this cat, Brooks Schandelmeier is on the show today. Brooks, first off, I hope I just said your last name right. I hope so. I've got to know Brooks through doing comedy on Zoom, and I'm so glad our paths have crossed. He's coming to us from the great state that is Maryland. So we're heading down to America today, speaking of elections. And I think a cookie is going to help us get us through today, as will liquor. Let's be honest. By the way, because we're in a new month, we are going to offer some love to Red Nose Remedy the entire dang month. Sending them lots of love. This is a not-for-profit from Toronto that I've gotten to know through my friend Helen Donnelly, who is needing a lot of love and a lot of good vibes sent her way, so please send her lots of these. Helen introduced me to Red Nose Remedy. They are doing this incredible work. They're offering joy, compassion, connection to those vulnerable in the healthcare system and beyond. And they're doing it through the art of therapeutic clown work. It's really, really awesome. Info on them is in the show description. Guys, we've got rainbow cookies. You have Kelly, you've got Brooks, we have Red Nose Remedy. It is going to be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right, this is what we're going to need for the tasty slice and bake rainbow cookies. We're going to need some food coloring. We've got our food dye there. Here is our powdered sugar. It's the Puff Daddy of sugars, of course. And I say that because it's got so many names, so many names. We need some vanilla extract. We just need a pinch of that kosher salt there. We've got our butter. I'm going with unsalted. What else do we need? We need our Robin Hood, or any kind, whatever you've got, but all-purpose baking flour. And what else is on here? Looks like we need some eggs. That's about it. I have bought many a Pillsbury pre-made Christmas cookie that has a pattern in it, but now we're gonna do. Have you ever done this before?
I have not. I'm not the biggest baker. Like, I love cooking. I've been cooking since I was like 13. But that's mostly just been like, grilling, sauteing, roasting, things where you don't have to get specific. You just add the right amount.
Right.
I drive my fiance crazy because that's how when she asks, like, how do I make this? Like, I don't know, just add the right amount of pepper, add the right amount of paprika.
A good cook will do that. You cook from the heart. You go by instinct. Baking is a little different.
It's science.
But I will say, because I'm new to knowing who you are through doing Zoom comedy and stuff, I've been seeing a lot of cookies. Have you gone into cookie baking?
I have. I do make the best thing I ever do. The best thing I bake is chocolate chip cookies because that is like fun science in my mind.
Yeah.
And the thing that steps up most people's cookie game, and I'm not doing for this because we got to get a very specific color, but for like chocolate chip cookies, snickerdoodles, or whatever, brown the butter. Brown butter is gold.
I love me a snickerdoodle.
hmm I made pumpkin spice cookies the other week, and Daniel Flores, one of the comics who does our mic a lot, got jealous. He's like, "Why didn't you share?" I was like, "Because I'm on the East Coast and you're in California. What do you want me to do, huh, buddy?" Well, I made, speaking of bread, I made pretzel bread recently because I'm a good German boy, Schandelmeier. And around October, every good German feels like the salmon have to swim upstream. I must make pretzels. So I bought, because stand mixers are out of my budget point. I gotta save up for a wedding. I bought a really good hand mixer with dough hooks, and I actually was gonna bust it out for this.
Ooh. Oh, this is exciting. I'm excited to see that hand mixer.
Rebel.
Beauty.
Oh yeah, and I got whisks. I got the beaters, which we're probably going to be using today, and then it's really great dough hooks.
Awesome. Oh, you
And
got.
that's why I got fat in lockdown.
Oh, we all have. We all have. But you mentioned you're a German heritage. I am Latvian, and the day that this episode aired happens to be my dad's birthday. So I'm going to do a shot of Latvian balsam. This is a traditional drink of my people's. It's very early.
When I was 15, I did an exchange program, and I spent about a month and a half in Daugavpils. So the Latgalian instead of traditional, like ethnically Russian, and Latgalians instead of Latvians proper. But I did spend a little bit of time in Riga, and I had a shot of that, and that. Oh, damn! I wish I could join you. All I got's bourbon, tequila, vodka, gin. I got everything but that.
As soon as the border reopens and I can get back to America, or you come up to Toronto, we'll do a shot. Because I'm going to have this for a while. It's 45%. You can't do much of this.
You can't go slamming that. It's a little hard. I got 2 sticks of the finest store brand butter
Nice.
you can buy. So are we adding dry to wet or wet to dry?
We are going to be doing, let's see how this goes. It looks like we're going to be creaming the butter and then adding the sugar, followed by the eggs, vanilla, and salt. Now, I've gone for unsalted butter because I usually bake with unsalted. This recipe actually does not say. So.
You know what? Actually, no. I already got my unsalted at the soft level. So.
I usually bake with unsalted, but this has no. This also does not say what size of egg to use. This just says eggs. I have extra large eggs, so I'm just going to use 2 rather than 3.
I got large. I'm gonna add the 3.
Okay, I think that's fair. I feel like with an extra large egg, 2 should cut it. But this recipe is very vague. It does not say. So we're going to take this butter and cream it to this mixture. So we don't need any other bowls for the moment. We're all adding this in one, which I love. We are going to be adding 2.5 cups of powdered sugar, icing sugar, caster sugar, confectioner sugar. Why does it have so many names?
I don't know. Probably the French. They overcomplicate everything.
Now,
That's why their food's the best in the world.
What I would advise, I am half French, so I will apologize for that.
I grew up in.
Don't dump all of this sugar at once. Do it in batches, because it might fly all over you if you're using a stand mixer.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it will. It will fly all over you. All right, so we're going to add our sugar.
I actually grew up northern Maine, just across the border from French Canada.
Oh yeah.
My experience, so that's why, like, with you and Desiree talking anything Canadian, I know what a Timmy's is. I spent a couple evenings actually hanging out in the Tim Hortons because I wasn't old enough to drink yet.
Yeah, yeah. I'm from Quebec, so I'm from that French Canada that you speak of. I've actually never been to Maine. I'd love to go. It sounds nice.
Maine is wonderful. My folks still live there, and I get up there about twice a year usually. Once around the summer because it's gorgeous in the summer, clean water, fresh air. And then I like to go in the winter because I'm a skier. My fiance Chelsea's not as big on it in the winter because it's cold. Um, but yeah, so like I do a couple sets about growing up in Maine. And like one of the big things was this time I met Stephen King. Uh, I met him in a movie theater out in Lewiston. And like Stephen King said, I'll see you later, just, trying to be nice. But like I'm a 16-year-old kid and I don't want to see you later, Stephen King. Now I'm like looking out my window like, is Stephen King just going to be floating there Salem's Lot style?
All right, I'm almost there.
This is an interesting texture with the powdered sugar. You're not getting that usual smooth. It kind of clumps a little.
Exactly. It's kind of like a body scrub.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's kind of like a body scrub. I like to make my own body scrubs. It's cheaper and it's easy.
I as a dude, I basically just like pick up whatever bottle of Old Spice is there. That's my extent of self-care for for personal hygiene products. I mean, I'm a clean person, but just like you ask me the difference between a body scrub and body wash and all these other things, I'll just kind of give you a blank stare. I'm actually going to finish this by hand because it's getting caught in my beaters.
Yeah. Yeah, and if anyone's, however you're mixing this at home, if you get the stuff when it goes up around the edges, just get a little knife or something and push it down so you don't miss out on that good stuff. All right.
One spatula, the most efficient cooking tool known to man.
Oh my
I say with no irony, I love these things.
This thing, like this little flat fork dealio, which I got at a kitchen shop, it's one of the best things I have.
Oh, I love kitchen shops.
Oh.
My fiance is from Pittsburgh. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there's a neighborhood called the Strip District.
I've got family in Dravosburg, Pennsylvania, so I know Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I love Pittsburgh. It's a cool city. One of the coolest cities I've actually ever been in. The Strip District, which is basically like markets, but they have this kitchen store. And Chelsea was taking me and her dad to the Strip District, and he likes to kind of wander off. And I wandered into a kitchen store, and she's like, "Okay, who do I bother keeping track with? I know Brooks is going to be happy in the store itself and won't leave without me, so I'm going to go find where Dad's going." Because I invested in this, and I'm going to use it, by God.
For our vanilla, we just need 1 teaspoon, by the way.
All right. I accidentally turned on my mixer. So I'm going to try and use the rest of this vanilla paste.
Interesting. Okay.
It's the same basic thing. It's just it's got the actual flex in it.
Yeah.
1 teaspoon?
If you're using also a vanilla pod, like a fresh pod, which is the best thing to use, I think you just need 1 bean. And just those pods out.
I've tried that. I've never had luck with the beans, except for making vanilla sugar, where you just put the pods basically in your regular sugar forever.
Oh, nice.
Transmits that flavor. So if you're ever making like creme brulee,
yeah,
that's the rest of the.
All right. I have such a fresh new jar of vanilla. Mine wasn't open. All right.
When I was a kid, I'd always forget like how bad it is to just drink this straight.
One of my favorite stories from this show, if you go back to episode 2, a fantastic comic from Toronto, Cliff Knight, my buddy Cliff, was on the show, and he confessed to liking the smell so much when he first discovered vanilla extract, he downed a bottle.
Ooh, yeah. That's just efficiency. That's efficiency. I like that. Good guy, this Cliff.
Bad idea.
I did that as a kid, and like I took a swig, and because the alcohol.
For the salt for this, you just need a pinch. If you want a measurement, that is 1/8 of a teaspoon. That is what a pinch of salt is. I would say this now has kind of like a Cool Whip texture to it.
Yeah, that's about where mine's at. Got a pretty good mix going.
Just show folks here. It's nice and golden and fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
Snaps.
Mine's a little lumpy. Is that okay?
Who doesn't like some lumps?
Yeah, it's texture. Come on, what are we, boring? I don't want that smooth stuff in there.
No, so it's nice. It's like nice whippy stuff. It's like when you make pancake batter. I like having some lumps in the batter. I don't give a shit.
Exactly. I'm a Mainer. We love our bond with pancakes goes deep. That was when lockdown first started, and everybody's an emotional mess because we live in the only country not taking this seriously. And the only way I could cheer myself up was pancakes.
And you and I would know then, like quality maple syrup.
Oh yeah, I don't do that.
We know the good stuff.
One of the angriest I've ever been was I was flying out of the Portland jetport, and I had a bottle of maple syrup in my bag, my carry-on. And they're like, you can't take this in because it's a security threat. I'm like, it's syrup. I'm like, well, no, because it could be whatever they make up. Like, it's all security theater. It's not real. The ounce thing, it's dumb.
Yeah.
But he just threw it in a regular trash can. I'm like, you know that's not a threat. You're just throwing it in a regular trash can.
Oh, even just save it for later. Don't.
At least just steal it from me. Like, honestly, I'd be less mad because it's being enjoyed by someone. Credit improv with a lot. I don't know if you remember, I am an elected official. I'm on my town's city council.
Oh, cool.
I'm on my town's city council, and I credit like the ability to think quickly as helping you out in both debates and trying to push legislation. And
that is awesome. Now,
so stand up, I'm pretty new to. Like, I did my first open mic about 3 years ago. And the first one was I performed at this food and music truck festival in Annapolis, and they wanted comics, and it was like my improv group, but they're like, no, we don't want improv, we want stand up. So they're like, write a bunch of G-rated material and then just go.
Wow.
I'm doing it. That was my first time doing it, and I bombed because I'm staring at a bunch of 5-year-olds. And like the lead-in was this guy named Squirrel, and he was a children's entertainer who played the guitar. And I can't get mad at Squirrel because Squirrel's jokes landed. Mine did not. Because you're staring at a bunch of 5-year-olds and you realize this set you wrote is not G-rated, and you're like, how do I fix this? I managed to kind of, and then I did it again. Like I started it on a Friday, and then I did it again on a Sunday. And honestly, the only reason this was worth it is they gave us free beer. And I just kind of went at that point, like, whatever, I think I fixed this. I'm just going to do what I wrote down. 5-year-olds being corrupted, be damned. And that one went a lot better.
That is amazing. So when you see a squirrel now, do you get squirrely?
I get jealous, and I just imagine where Squirrel's career is at this point and where mine is in the comic community. Squirrel's probably is like a featured on SNL, and I'm here in Annapolis.
I've never done a show like that, for the youngins following a comic like that. But I did do a show that was all like like music acts. It was a fundraiser, and nobody there wanted to see comedy. I bombed so hard.
I did that at an open mic in Lewiston, Maine, where they meant open mic, like come play the guitar. And I'm in this like coffee shop in Lewiston called Guthrie's, and I just do like a 5-minute set, and everybody's just staring blankly on me, like, when are you busting your guitar out?
Yeah, no one wants to hear our opinions on things.
I don't want to hear the story about what you ate on the airline, like.
Not at all. All right, this is almost mixed together. And then we are going to, we're inching closer to the food coloring.
Or-
All right, next up, what I would suggest doing, because this could get messy, putting some parchment down on your station, or flouring your surface, whatever you want to do. But we're going to take this dough here and roll it into, we're going to form it into one ball, but then cut it, set one aside, and then the magic will begin happening.
Are you actually able to lift yours up?
I
Or
am.
are you just wrapping it in the, is it wrapped in the parchment?
I lifted mine up. I got mine, bud. Woohoo!
I
See
gotta
what Brooks
put
doing.
I gotta put more flour in. Kind of managed to get this into
How's your balls looking?
my balls. Well, they're a little shaggy, but I'm getting there.
Just call your doctor.
Not a good cooking show unless you're talking about your balls.
Yeah.
Watch you ever watch Food Wishes with Chef John on YouTube?
No.
It's one of the best cooking video sources that I know because the way he talks, it's almost like he's reading a recipe to you, and his cadence and enunciation is very nice and he's very.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
All right, so cut it in half.
Yeah, so cut it in half and then wrap one in plastic and just set it aside.
I'm gonna just
You want.
split it in half. Get my plastic wrap.
Yep. Or a Ziploc, whatever you got. But I would think the tighter the fit, the better, rather than just chucking it in a plastic bag. Okie dokie. Well, it's time for the food dye, friends. Wow. Wow. Oh, I'm excited. All
All
right.
right, so I have.
So you should have
half in my-
a bowl.
I have another half in my bowl. What do I do with the bowl half?
We are now going to take this one and cut it into 6 pieces. But once again, this recipe doesn't say how big the pieces should be. Yeah, just,
Well, I'm assuming they're even sized.
there's a lot of assuming in this recipe.
All right.
Six pieces. Dye the dough with food coloring by placing a 1/4 teaspoon of dye on the ball of the dough until it is one solid color. Gloves are optional, but suggested. This recipe is so vague.
Oh my gosh.
This says optional, but pick a team. Pick a team.
I'm going gloveless. Screw it.
I'm going gloveless too. I am so excited. I have had this food dye in my cupboard for a year. I'm sure it's fine.
I bought this at Target over the weekend because I got all excited.
All right. Okay. A 1/4 teaspoon of dye on the ball of the dough. I'm doing blue first.
That's a good color. Just so we're on the same path after I pop all the caps off. I'm using to pop the cap off.
Oh, this is fun already. You probably should be wearing gloves. Yeah. Not gonna lie there.
Yeah, it's gonna be so cute. I've just made such a mess in this damn kitchen.
You know what? I don't have gloves, but I might put Ziploc. I might put Ziplocs on my hands. I think this is gonna be a.
All right, I got a 1/4 teaspoon of blue.
Oh my gosh, this is super fun. It's coming along.
All right, and just mix the dough together until it's all.
Correctamundo. All right.
Son of a. There's no graceful way to do this. Oh, geez.
Look at all these colors. This looks so cool. The election night rituals. Is there a beverage you usually make or?
alcohol's so I have a superstition against drinking champagne before it's called, because in 2014 we thought we had a sure thing with this campaign I was working on, and it blew. It didn't blow up, like we weren't destroyed, but we lost by like 3 points, which like no one saw coming. So when you think you're going to win by a landslide and you lose by 3, that still feels like a blowout. And we had popped the champagne at the beginning of the night.
Yeah.
So that was in 2014. 2016, while I was watching everything coming in, I killed half a bottle of filibuster bourbon. Just because I could not. That was the only way to make things like feel normal, I suppose.
All right. What I'm going to do is put down a new sheet of parchment, because now we are going to be rolling out each layer, wrapping it together, and then letting it rest for about 30 minutes once we've wrapped it all up. So if we do this correctly, we should have a rainbow in the center of our cookie when we cut it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this, but that's what I've done, like toothpaste layers. Is that what they mean? What did you do?
Broke it.
You can show you
Broke it is what I did. I've just been stacking them.
All right. Well, I'm kind of stacking.
I stack them and then like I think I push them into each other. So I think mine's gonna look terrible at the end, but it's fine. I'm still getting a cookie.
Whatever your rainbow looks like to you, that's what this is.
Rainbow is in the heart.
All right.
Hashtag Pride Month.
Next, and we need a lot of rainbows in love because today's November 3rd and people are freaking out, you know? Yeah. Anyway, all right. So next, we will take green and do the same thing. Oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, I did it wrong. So, did you see that?
It looks kind of like they did it like you do a beef Wellington.
Yeah, so instead of doing what I've done of the layers, I've got to take it back out, like flatten it, wrap it around the purple. That's what I did wrong. Okay.
Well, what you can do is after you layer it, put it all together.
Oh, you cut out there.
Wrap everything together using the parchment paper.
Oh, you mean?
So I'll show you what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lift up the rainbow and then wrap it together.
Oh shit! Okay. I think I can fix this. All right.
If not, again, we're getting cookies with fun colors.
Right. I'm not going to get too mad at myself, but I'm glad I watched that because I didn't. Okay, so, all right.
There we go.
There you are. Hello. All right. Mine, so in typical Kelly Zemnicka's fashion, I didn't do this right. So mine's totally going to be tie-dye rainbow. I don't care. I don't care. Because I realized what I did, of course, at first was I rolled them all up side by side. You're only supposed to roll up the purple and then flatten out. If you read this correctly, it makes complete sense. But
I didn't even read anything. I just was kind of swinging for the fences and trying my little.
Well, your beef Wellington idea makes complete sense. That's why I've got this tie-dye batch of madness.
So coming back in the kitchen, so I got to pop this blackboard back on.
Alrighty.
All right.
It's like a pirate. It's like a pirate.
Yeah.
Cookies. It's good. I love it. All right. So we do need to fetch that other bit of. Do need to fetch that other bit of dough that we set aside. We're going to need it in a minute.
Well, I already wrapped that around the cookies.
Oh, you're a step ahead. Okay, then you're a step ahead of me.
Yeah, I did all that. I did all that before popping it in the fridge.
Oh, because you're supposed to rest it. They want it rested in 2 settings. They wanted this rested and then that rested. It's supposed to rest for like an hour in total.
Well, I did not do that.
Amazing. Or flatten it out, or however the frig you want to do this.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about with like kind of doing it like a beef Wellington though, because
Exactly. Yeah, so flatten this out
I
as
didn't.
best as you can. If you want to, I mean, you'd be a step ahead of me, but do you want to put yours in the oven?
Might as well. What do I turn my oven on to?
You may as well. Okay, so in theory, friends, again, this cookie dough should rest for an hour in total. Both Brooks and I are doing our own version. That's okay. 350 for 20 minutes.
I mean, it's gonna take my oven a little bit to heat up, so mine will still be resting. You let it rest for like 30 minutes in the break.
So this is the idea then. You take your beef or your beef Wellington and you wrap this up kind of like a corn dog. If, you know, if you're into that kind of thing. All right, roughly. I don't know when I last had a corn dog. When did you last have one?
Probably a year ago, back in the before time.
Are you a big like carnival eats kind of fair person, or?
I am a big eats person of anything that's like
I
taste.
definitely do. Yeah.
I'm drinking a beer now because we were talking about beer and
Well, let me pour some balsam in honor of my father's birthday.
I'm drinking a Shipyard Pumpkinhead Ale.
Nice. I'm gonna do a little. Well, cheers to you.
What's Latvian for cheers?
I don't know, but I know Paul Diaz says thank you. So Paul Diaz, I'll just say thank you on behalf of my family.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I should have known it and learned it in Russian, but I basically.
I've only ever said it in Russian. I don't know what it is in Latvian. What we are going to do, I'll just get a little cutting knife here. Basically, we're going to find out what's inside our logs. Oh, this is exciting. Okay, so here we go. Maybe I'll do it this way. Let's get a first cut. Let's see. Now, again, these are not rainbows. This is Kelly's tie-dye cookie. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that looks awesome.
That's fucking cool. I like that.
I'm gonna bust mine out of the fridge in a hot second. I'm just cutting my parchment paper down.
I kind of dig this. And next time I'm gonna do this right. Tasty website.
I think you should just keep it at the tie-dye.
You know, this is fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. This
That's
is really cool.
I'm in. So cool.
Well,
There's this Hungarian restaurant in, I hope it survives the pandemic, in Pittsburgh that I really want to go to.
yeah.
And it basically looks like it's just somebody's like house, like one of those kind of setups. But when they went in there was the owner, who's this old Hungarian guy, like playing the accordion and singing with everybody. And it's basically like you walk in and you just kind of get to drink and party with the owner while you eat your goulash. So I'm like, I can eat goulash and party.
Oh my gosh, that to me sounds like a Sunday supper we used to have when I was a kid, and we'd go over to my grandparents' house just outside of Montreal, and you know, just being the background of Eastern European and just really, really celebrating food and music and culture, which is really big for Latvians. But yeah, that kind of sounds like a Sunday thing. You know, there was always tons of food and drink and music, and yeah.
Oh yeah.
These are adorbs. Look at these.
Oh dang, yours look great.
I'm so happy. Oh, this is good. I'm gonna get some Do I want milk or more balsam? That's fine. Okay.
¿Por qué los dos?
Whew. It's hot. I can't do it yet. I have to let it cool.
I just got mine gripped. I amaze my fiance because like I'll be making sauces or something and I'll take like a boiling liquid with a spoon, just give like a quick and taste it. She's like, how are you able to do that without hurting yourself?
When you've had kitchen experience, you can do that. I've done mostly front of house, so I'm still like, it's hot. All right, gonna try this.
Cheers.
Cheers, cookie, cheers.
Mine still tastes like a pie crust. I did too much flour in mine, but
This is a solid sugar cookie. That
not bad.
Pillsbury.
I think if I try this again, I'm going to use granulated instead of powder. I think that might impact the texture slightly.
Well, I use granulated, but as I say, because it calls for powdered sugar, I put it in a coffee grinder.
I mean, without doing that though, like just use the regular granules.
I don't know.
Actually, no, your powdered sugar would give you more sugar because it's lighter per cup. So I need more sugar.
Buttery, sugary cookie. I dig this.
This is good.
I'm so glad we did this.
This was fun. Like
There were
I can't think of it's a solid Friday night plan. Like bake some cookies and hang out and chat and make jokes and tell stories.
Exactly. And when this goes to air and we're all nervy about what's going to happen with the election, just eat cookies, guys. Just eat cookies. Like
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
my mom's calling. Just give me one hot sec.
Put her on speaker. I'll say hi.
Hey, I'm just filming an episode of the show. I'll call you back. I'm gonna keep that in.
Yeah, keep it in.
Mom, that's when you call.